Hey friends, Kevin here, and today we're going to talk about the number one reason that people fail at van life. I bet you can guess what it is, but we're going to go into detail and give you some examples of people I know, people I've met along the way, why this didn't work out for them. So let's get to it. Now, if you guessed the number one reason that people fail at van life is money, then you were absolutely right. Or I guess we could say the lack of money, but it's more of not having enough money when something goes wrong. The people that have the worst problems and the worst experiences with van life are simply going to be the people who go out on the road and wing it and hope that everything works out fine. And that can work for a while until they face a major repair or something major happens that changes. And let me give you some examples of things that can just go wrong for people. Some of these people I've met, here's one I didn't, but if you saw, I put up a video a couple of weeks ago about having insurance. Do you need full coverage insurance on one of these older, cheaper vans? Well, within 24 hours in another forum that I'm in, here's a story that popped up. This young couple in their 20s, in California, they sell their vehicle, they go and buy a van to convert. And they're going to be in the Los Angeles County area, kind of doing this in the city and hiding out different places every night, stealth camping, if you will. But because they had the money, they paid their couple $1,000s or whatever for their van, they didn't feel the need to have full coverage insurance. What they also didn't have was any money for something going wrong, because they spent all the excess money they had on their van build. So now they're living in a van, they're in a place in Los Angeles on a quiet side street, parked at night, asleep, minding their own business. A lady comes down this street drunk and crashes into the back of their van. Luckily, they were not hurt very badly. What did happen, though, is their van is pretty much totaled. Now, because they've made these choices to go be in a van, and they had no backup plan, and they have no insurance, they basically became homeless at that point. Now, as for the lady that was drunk that came down the street and hit them, guess what? She didn't have insurance. And everything is different from state to state as far as the way this is going to play out. But in most places, in that situation, the victim is going to be simply out of luck. So that's one story with this. The second one is if you have spent any time on the road going from place to place and being in different campgrounds, especially state parks and things like that, you are going to run into some odd situations with people that are there sometimes that you meet. There are people who have been husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends that one of them gets mad at the other one and they simply dump them out in these places in a tent, pay for them to be there for a day or two, and drive away. And that poor person has no money, no way to get anywhere, to get anything. You're going to run into some sad cases on the road. Granted, there aren't a lot of those, but if you're out any length of time, you are going to run into those. But some more that are van related, I know in the South a few years ago, I was in a situation, the man's working in the South. He is bouncing back and forth between two different state parks, paying his $20, $22 a night. And this guy is trying. He has a vehicle. He has a truck with a camper on the back of it. He is living in it. He is working the best he can with jobs, but he can't do enough to get ahead to get into a place to live. So unfortunately, he's living in his vehicle because he can get paid every few days working these day jobs and have enough money to be able to continue to pay his fee at the state park, which had, I think, a 14-day limit in one place. So after every couple of weeks, he moves to the other one. After a couple of weeks, he moves back. Unfortunately, this is a situation where in the deep south, you have bad weather, you have the potential for hurricanes, you have some rainy seasons, which was what was going on at the time we were there. In the rainy seasons, this guy trying to pick up temporary jobs, he has trouble getting work. It's just a bad, bad situation. And you're going to meet the people that started out to do van life in some form, whether it was full time or maybe just to have that adventure across the country. And they make it as far as they make it, and something major goes wrong. Major repair on their van. Something happens. A lot of times it's a transmission, and that pretty much is going to total the vehicle. There's nothing you can do but junk it almost at that point. And those people are stranded with nothing to do. So the reason I'm getting at this, I have a few more dollars than a lot of people. And there's a lot of people out there that have more dollars than I have. So we're all in different situations. There are the people that can run out and buy the 1-year-old van, and they have an income, however it works, that they can make that payment and make that insurance payment to have that nice vehicle to run around in. And then there's those of us that can't, or there's those of us that choose not to, because I choose to go in older vehicles so I can spend more time doing it and being out there, because if I'm having to work for a 2020 model van, then I'm not going to be able to be out on the road enjoying it, because I'm going to have to be working. So that was the choice I made, to work less, to be able to hopefully be out and about more and be able to go on longer trips when I wanted to. Work some, take some time off. Work some, take some time off. That's what worked for me. A lot of you are retired. A lot of you have health issues. Maybe you're on some type of Social Security disability to where you have a set income per month. And you're going to have to work within the framework of that, what you have. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of people that I know that are immensely successful in being able to do this without having a lot of money, without having a lot of income. But the ones that are successful do not go out on the road and take off across the country with just a couple of bucks in their pocket. They have something for a backup plan. Either they have a credit card with a good limit on it, or they have enough money set aside to cover themselves in case something happens. And if you follow some of my videos, you know my philosophy, especially with minivans. My minivan was basically, I'm going to buy a cheap one, I'm going to do a conversion, I'm going to go across the country, and if this thing blows up, rather than spend thousands of dollars and 3 weeks sitting in somebody's shop somewhere praying that they can actually do this major repair right, I'll just junk it and buy another one. Well, to be able to do that, you have to be ahead enough to be able to replace that vehicle. So that's going to require either saving up money, and if you're on a limited income, again, that's going to be harder to do. You may have to get a part-time job, do something on the side, get you a little side gig in order to be able to put some money away. And I've also done videos like this one and this one that concern being able to sell small stuff on the road through eBay to make little bits of money. Well, if you're starting out and you're planning this and you're trying to figure out how to get money before you even get on the road, the ideals in those videos may be right up your alley to what you're looking for. And if you follow what I'm saying in those videos, you're not trying to just run and find random stuff to sell, and you're not trying to turn this into some major business. What you're trying to do is get good at one thing. Find one product line, something you're interested in, something that's small and easy to ship, because the interest will cause you to remember things better. And then you can study and research, and you'll know what sells and what doesn't with that one little niche, and that's the only product that you're going to buy and sell on eBay. Stick with one thing, but be very, very good at that one thing. That is the secret. Instead of thinking you can do 150 things and you're not going to be good at any of them. So you can become an expert in that one thing. And you can parlay that one thing over and over and over into buying stuff, selling it on eBay, taking that money and saving it until you get your account built up enough, your safety net account, that you're going to need when you go on the road. The other option for just being able to have money is if you have a lot of stuff, you can simply start selling off the stuff you don't need. It never hurts to downsize, and if you have lived in the same place for any number of years, if you're like most of us, you have accumulated and accumulated and accumulated stuff that you don't use anymore, and you're never going to use. Sell that stuff off. Get rid of it. Get it out of your life. Make your life simple. Take that money and use that for your safety on the road account. So you're covered. And if you follow this and do one of these things, you won't fail at van life. Whether you choose to do it full time or whether you just decide to parlay this into taking long, adventurous trips across the country, doing what you want to do and seeing what you want to see. You won't fail. You will be ahead of the game. You will be ahead of many, many people that head out on the road on a wing and a prayer and then have bad experiences and horror stories because of it. I'd love to hear your comments. Do you know somebody that has had a bad experience, had a horror story trying to do this because they got out, something happened, and they run out of money? If you do, put that story down in the comment section, and let's kind of share these things around and let everybody see how often this can happen. I'd love to hear your comments, whether you agree with me, you don't agree with me. If you think I'm right, that's cool. If you think I'm wrong, that's okay too. Put your opinion down in the comment section if it's different than mine. I don't mind if somebody has a different opinion. We all learn from each other and we all have different experiences. If you're wondering what to watch next and you're new here, click on my name, Budget Travel Guy, down below this video. It will take you over to the main YouTube page. You will see different videos broken out into categories that hopefully will help you, whether it's van life stuff or road trek stuff or minivan conversions or buying your first van. Whatever you're interested in, they'll be grouped there together. You can catch up on any videos you may have missed, see what you can find there that will help you out, reach your goals, be on your adventures, and we'll talk soon.